Direwild is a cooperative deck-building dungeon crawl, but instead of your deck being made of swords, shields, and spells, it's made up of puppies, kittens, and the occasional T-Rex. Direwilds, Direwilds, fight for your life, cause you don't wanna die in the wild.
Direwild is 2 to 4 players. The goal of this game is to defeat the evil tyrant Karn before it becomes too powerful and corrupts the land beyond repair. In order to get to him, you must defeat his minions, gain treasure, and grow stronger. You win if you manage to defeat him, but most likely he will hunt you down and crush you before you even get to his dungeon.
You play as one of the 10 possible heroes, each with their own unique magical abilities and passive skills.
Your heroes all share one trait in common. They are animists. They have the ability to commune with the creatures of Direwild, who will aid you in your quest to save the land from Karn. These creatures are represented as cards and have their own abilities and synergies.
In this game, your hero starts with their own basic deck. The deck is comprised of puppies and kittens. Kittens are charming and allow you to bring in new creatures into your deck. Puppies are loyal and will add to your fighting strength. As you continue your quest, you'll bring in new creatures that will do even more. Every turn, you'll find the best way to combine them into one creature, and then you bring them into battle with you. Armed with your creature, you'll fight the minions of Karn. There are many different kinds of minions, each with their own quirks. You'll notice that they all have hit points and attack strength. In order to defeat them, you must generate more attack than their attack strength. If you manage to do this, you'll deal 1 damage to them. Deal 3 points of damage, and each of them are defeated. So how will you deal this damage? Well, your hero automatically does D3 damage, and the rest need to come from your creature. This is a total of 7 attack. So first, let's go through a game turn. First, all of the unit's heroes and enemies move their stamina bar towards 0. The stamina bar is a track that alters the unit's attack based on how distracted, poisoned, or enraged they are. Then, we flip over the game's AI card. This controls all of the enemies. The first thing that happens is that Karn moves up 1 space on his trek. Oh yeah, and I guess I forgot to mention that he's hunting the heroes. If a hero takes too long to defeat the minion on the board, then Karn will show up. You do not want that. You are not ready for that. Then, the enemies move around. If they are unaware of your presence, then they move along these footpaths. If they are aware of you, however, they will come right for the closest hero. Now it's the player's turn. First, they pick a turn order. There are strategies to this, but we'll let you figure that out on your own. Then all players draw, and in turn order, they play their hand. Cards will sometimes have abilities shown in a red banner. These happen immediately. They consist of abilities such as poisoning enemies, having another player discard a card, or even allowing players to draw cards. Once all players have done that, you can now count up how much charm you've generated and buy creatures from the wilds. You can buy any creatures shown for their purchase price, and it goes into your discard pile, or you can pay an extra charm and put it on the top of your deck. We highly recommend this. There are also other things that you can do with your charm. You can destroy creatures and bring the top creature down from the outer wilds into the wilds, or you can start unlocking upgrades for your party of heroes. Once all of the locks have been removed on a stack, then you will now have access to new powers. The first allows you to access advanced creatures.
Ooh.
Once players have spent their charm to recruit a creature from the wild, they then build the creature from the cards in their hand and get to fighting. The first player is already next to a minion, so let's let them have at it. If you lose the fight, then you'll take a fatal wound into your discard pile. If all the fatal wounds are removed during a level, then you lose the game. Don't fret though, because losing 1 battle is not a big deal. One of the great things about fighting minions is that regardless of whether you win or lose, you will distract the minion. This will make it easier for your teammates to defeat minions. Remember, teamwork is the key in Direwild. If you deal enough damage to the minion to defeat it, then that damage is sent back to the heroes as usable magic. Magic powers are a whole other fun aspect of this game. There's also a ton of treasure to pick up along the way.
And that's the general game. You move through 3 lands, fighting minions, and eventually facing up to Karn in a big boss fight that has its own unique mechanics. Anytime you clear a chapter, there's a save system, where you can put your deck back in the deck boxes and save the game state for your next game night.
Ooh. As you can see, Direwild is filled with adorable creatures, epic battles, and cooperative gameplay. What animals would you like to see in the game?
Maybe you should pass the game back and forth.
Okay. That'll just be like... That'll be our B-roll, is passing the game back and forth.
This is so silly. Okay.
Ooh! Ooh!